It begins quietly, not with a kiss, but with the energy that eventually leads to one. Nata is leaving rehearsal, headphones in, walking fast, the world around her blurred and loud. She nearly bumps into Alberto in the narrow alley behind the school theater. He steps back, lifts both hands, apologetic and a little amused. For a second, they just look at each other. Not because of attraction, not yet, but because both of them feel something shift, the beginning of a tension neither understands. Nata removes her headphones. "Sorry," she murmurs. "No, I am," he replies, smiling that soft, tilted smile Gabriel Guevara does so effortlessly. This moment matters because it's the first time Alberto looks at her not as another student, but as someone he wants to understand. It also matters because Nata senses something calm in him, a rare feeling for her. There is no kiss here. But this is the origin of their energy, the quiet spark before the flame. The first kiss that doesn't happen, but almost does. A week later, they're alone in the editing room. Nata is helping him with a class project, standing close behind him as he trims audio clips. The room is tiny, nearly silent except for the clicking mouse. She leans in to point at the screen, and her hair brushes his cheek. He glances to the side, and their faces pause inches apart. It's the almost kiss. The air is soaked in unspoken hope. There is no sudden music, no dramatic angle. Just two teenagers trying to decide whether moving forward is wrong, right, stupid, or inevitable. Nata pulls back first. Alberto exhales slowly. And that tension becomes the heartbeat of every scene that follows. The first actual kiss, the rooftop after the storm. Their first real kiss happens on a night that already feels stretched thin with emotion. Nata has had a terrible day, overwhelmed, overstimulated, unheard. She climbs to the quiet rooftop to breathe. Alberto follows later, not because he's tracking her, but because he once told her, "If you ever disappear, I'll know to check the roof first." She's sitting on the low wall, hugging her knees, when he joins her. "You don't have to talk," he says. "Just, let me stay." They sit in silence. Thunder hums far away. The world feels heavy and distant. Nata finally whispers, "I hate feeling like I don't belong anywhere." Alberto answers softly, "You belong here. With me." She turns toward him, tears shining, and something inside her breaks open, not pain, but relief. He raises his hand, brushing a tear from her cheek. His touch lingers a breath too long. She doesn't think about anything. She just leans in. Their first kiss is gentle and slow, the kind of kiss that feels like a promise whispered against someone's mouth. Alberto is cautious, giving her time to pull away if she wants. Nata doesn't. Instead, she presses closer, her fingers curling into the fabric of his jacket. When they finally part, she whispers, "Don't disappear." He answers, "I won't." This kiss sets the emotional tone of every other scene, protective, intimate, vulnerable. The second kiss, the hallway hideaway. A few days later, they find themselves in a quiet hallway corner between classes. Nata is anxious again, too much noise, too many eyes, too much pressure. Alberto sees it instantly. He steps close. "Hey, look at me." She tries to steady her breathing. He cups her jaw lightly, grounding her. Nata leans forward, barely a whisper of space between them, and Alberto kisses her again. This kiss is shorter, but firmer, filled with the urgency of teenage emotion. She sighs into it, letting the world fall away. When they break apart, she rests her forehead against his. "Thank you," she says. "You don't have to thank me," he murmurs. "Just let me be here." The locker room doorway kiss. Not planned. Not dramatic. Just instinct. Nata finds him after practice, hair still damp, the hallway buzzing with noise. She walks straight up to him, grabs the front of his shirt, and pulls him in. The kiss is spontaneous and intense, the kind that makes Alberto freeze for half a second in surprise before melting into it. His hands settle on her waist, gently but firmly. It lasts only a moment, but it hits both of them like a shock wave. She steps back, breathless. "I needed that," she says simply. He laughs softly. "Anytime." This kiss marks a shift. She's not just receiving comfort, she's seeking him, wanting him, choosing him. The bedroom door kiss, "You're safe here." Their next major kiss happens in Alberto's room. He's showing her some music he's been mixing, but Nata is unfocused, her mind spiraling after a stressful call from home. Alberto stops the music, concerned. "Talk to me." She shakes her head. "I can't. Not right now." He steps closer, closing the space slowly, carefully. His hands hover at her arms first, never gripping, just assuring. She looks up at him, and there's something raw in her eyes. She whispers, "Can you just hold me?" Instead, he cups her face gently and kisses her, soft, slow, grounding. This kiss is not about passion but safety. His thumb strokes her cheek, calming her breath. She presses into him, the kiss deepening as she exhales the tension she's been holding all day. When they part, she rests her head against his chest, and Alberto wraps his arms around her without hesitation. This kiss becomes their emotional center point, the moment they both realize this connection is bigger than they expected. "Shouldn't want you this much," kiss. It's raining outside. Not symbolic rain, real, messy, loud rain. They're stuck together under a tiny bus stop shelter, soaked from sprinting across campus. They're laughing, breathless, shivering. Nata's hair is plastered against her face, and Alberto gently pushes it back. His touch lingers. Her smile softens. There's tension, too much, too obvious. Alberto swallows. "We should stop." Nata steps closer. "Do you want to stop?" He looks tortured. "No." She lifts her chin. "Then kiss me." The kiss that follows is intense, deep, hungry, urgent, with everything they've been trying to hold back. Rain drips from their clothes as Alberto pulls her into him, her hands sliding to his shoulders. This is their most passionate kiss of the season, not explicit, but emotionally fierce. When they finally pull apart, both of them are shaking. Nata whispers, "This is real, right?" He answers without hesitation, "More real than anything." Reconciliation kiss. Their first real conflict lands hard. Miscommunication. Frustration. Fear of losing each other. They argue in an empty classroom, raised voices, harsh words, both overwhelmed. Nata says something sharp, something she regrets instantly, and Alberto steps back like he's been hit. Silence. Heavy. Awkward. Nata's voice breaks. "I didn't mean it." Alberto whispers, "I know." And then she steps forward and kisses him, not gentle, but desperate. He hesitates for a heartbeat, then pulls her in, kissing her back with the same urgency. This kiss is messy and emotional, the kind that tastes like tears and apologies and promises. It's the most human moment between them, flawed and tender at once. Afterwards, he rests his forehead against hers. "We can be upset," he murmurs, "but we don't walk away." "Okay." "Okay," she whispers. It happens unexpectedly in the courtyard. Students everywhere. Noise everywhere. Nata is overwhelmed again, but this time, instead of retreating, she looks for Alberto. She finds him. He sees her expression and walks toward her instantly. Before he can even ask what's wrong, she crashes into him and kisses him, right there, in front of everyone. It's quick but bold. A declaration. He pulls back, stunned but smiling. "You're getting brave." She shrugs, cheeks flushed. "I'm getting tired of being scared." This kiss becomes a turning point, she's no longer hiding her feelings. The emotional peak, the comfort kiss on the school steps.